Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and an unboxing, unbagging of a shipment that I got from NEOECO. So let's open this up and see what we got here. We got a very nice packaged styrofoam bag here. Well, this thing's not gonna break open, is it? Let's see here what they sent us today. They told me they had an updated version, oh look at that, of my airbrush that I've been using now for the past maybe month, and straight up I've fallen in love with this thing. It's done a very good job. Let's open this up and see what we can see. This is their NCT-SJ83 airbrush, and man, they don't want it to fall apart, do they? What a nice box, I'll tell you that for sure. Okay, the box is off. I try to do it live when I do these, so let's see what we got. You'll see what I see when we see it. Okay, this is a lot like, whoops, I am sorry. I got my visor on still. This is a lot like the other airbrush that they sent me. This is the one I've been using. I got it on Amazon. It was a kit that came with this. It came with a hose, a quick disconnect, all kinds of nice stuff, 2 caps, and I've been using the snot out of this thing and I haven't had one lick of trouble with it yet. So they told me that they updated their bowl on this. So let's pull this out right off the rip. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, the weight is exactly the same on this. There's no difference at all on the weight. Action, I like it. Nice smooth action on here. The bowl is definitely different. You can tell. Oh, you know what? That is one thing that I did have trouble with, is this cap would stick a little bit on me. And this is coming apart really nice. I like that. I like that a lot. I do like the way this trigger feels. Even with my big finger, I'll come up and hit this a little bit, but it's not like it's in the way or distracting. I can pull that back. This is very smooth. I can feel the air go down, and I can feel the pullback, nice and smooth. It does have the adjustment to keep this from going back. Here, I will screw this forward, and what this does is now I just felt this hit. What this does is when you pull this back, it keeps you from going too far. And now watch my trigger. As I screw this, that trigger gets regulated, so you can limit the amount of paint that you go through. I don't use that often because I like to feather as I paint, just so as I'm seeing what's coming out, I can adjust for it. But just starting out, man, you can regulate this back to where it just barely lets any out, or full bore, just with a quick turn. If you're working on it, and see there, I'm regulated just a little bit. I'm all the way open. a little bit the other way, and I'm halfway. So the other thing I'm seeing is a new or different from mine needle cone on here. This is interesting. It's got the openings around it like the star bit does, but it's it's keeping it from, you know, you're not going to bang the tip. And I have sometimes, and I haven't done it with my NEOECO, but when I was first starting out and I was trying to get into fine stuff, I did get almost so close that I was going to hit that, or when I'm just putting it down or cleaning it or whatever. That's nice protection. It really is. Oh, and it, you know what? It's a press on. That just pushes right on there. Look at that. So that is different. This is a lot more beefy of a front end for sure on here. It still has the adjustment for air. You get your air pressure going, and then you can fine tune it to get exactly the spray pattern you want. Between that and this back, you can set yourself up really nice just practicing on a bunch of spoons. So that is that. Let's check this cap out. I know it threads off of here because I felt it, and yep, that is different. Look at the cup here. It's a lot different. Let's take this one apart and I'll show you. Look at the difference in sizes of that. That is a heck of an improvement, because this was kind of cleaning it with a Q-tip. It wouldn't go all the way through, where this I'll be able to get it in and out of there. And this nice anodized bowl, I think this is aluminum. It's a lot lighter than this, or it might not be. It might just be me, but I like it. I do like being able to clean it like that. That's going to be a big help. Let me put this back on, and it just threads on, no problem. Give it a little twist to snug. They have a rubber gasket. You don't have to crank them on, but you do want them to seat so that you don't lose your paint. And you know what? That even threads on nicer. It really does. I bring it down just to where it touches, give it a little and that's it. I like this front end on here. Let's see what else is in this box, because this box is loaded here. We got a cup that's big enough that you can do repair work on a car if you wanted to. There's a cup. You got another cup, and inside the cup here, oh, I like how this cap is dropped in a little bit. But inside here is another thing that I really like what the NEOECO guys do for us, is there's a complete set of Teflons and gauge and gaskets that you could take and rebuild this whole shooting match with this. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I have not had to use a single, I'm going to put that back in here right now so I don't lose it. I haven't had to do a single thing to this one at all. But I did just the other day on the Facebook page, one of the guys was having a problem. He said that when he was, you know, he backs it up this way all the time like I do to back flush to clean this out. He said that he wasn't getting any paint spray at all. And when he took it apart, he completely disassembled it. And I'm going to do a video on that for this one, where I take this thing, before I even use it, we'll tear this thing completely apart and see what's in there. But he took it apart and he found that that Teflon gasket was bad. And since they send you the whole thing, he was able to put that back in, put it back together again, and he was up and running and spraying. And man, I'll tell you what, you should have seen what he did with it, because it's beautiful work. So, I mean, I like being able to work on them. It's just nice. Let's open this up. I know I was taking stuff out of the box, but I'm just curious to see. Nice jam nut on there. Nice adjuster here. This is for your throttle spring right here. And your jam nut just holds in your needle. So I'm going to put this on. When you put this back on there, oh, now see, that's even better. Is that hole bigger? It is. Even this hole on the back that that you use this for the screw-in piece that stops is bigger on this. So they've updated this thing all the way around. I'm liking what I see. And you can get to that adjustment for, oh yeah, the spring adjustment. I like that. Screw it in a little bit, because I like mine a little bit tighter. Like that. That's the way I want it. I got a lot more pressure on the tip of my finger, so I can, as I'm bringing it back, I can really control that. But let's set that out of the way again and get back to what's in the box. We have a big honking wrench. This is a lot bigger. I don't even know what that'll be used for yet, so we're gonna have to see. We have a little pipette. That's a nice size one. I should get 1,000,000 of them that size. We have our 0.5 millimeter. Let's pull that open and see what we got. This is our needle, or our seat. Oh, that's cool. It's just a drop in, huh? That'll be a lot easier to clean. This is your protector for your needle seat, and this just drops in. I like it. I like it a lot. So that drops in, and then you thread this on to tighten it in place, and then that's your, your needle seat is on there like that. That'll be a lot nicer. You don't need that wrench anymore to take the front end apart. And man, I'll tell you what, the tip on this thing is awful small. And I will always, when I take that apart to clean it, I work over top of a food pan, just in case I drop it. I hit that, because if it hits the carpet in here, it's gone forever. So that's a nice little update. So we got a 0.5. We got our 0.2. That means there's a 0.3 in there. We have our 0.5 and 0.2 needles. I've been spraying with this with the 0.5 on the cars lately. And then when I go to like the engines and things like that, most of the time my engines I do by hand. But the smaller stuff, interior and things like that, I'll change that out to the 0.3 and go with a little bit smaller needle. The 0.3's in here right now. 0.2 and 0.5. So we got the needles, we got the needle seats. Oh, nice. And they also sent a quick disconnect that I'm going to screw on here right now. This just screws on the bottom, and then this will attach to your hose right on the bottom. And if you get the kit, if you get their little compressor, it comes with a really nice hose. Just screw this on the end of that, and then you're done. And then this goes everywhere. You can take your hose and you can switch from this one to this one. I don't have the hose or the thing on here because I just took everything off just to show you the base. I didn't realize they were going to send that, and I didn't want to say, hey, look, I got it on here. But I kind of like that because it gives it a little bit more stuff to hold on. So you can, it's in your hand a little bit nicer. And if you see, this is the way 9 times out of 10 I'm holding my airbrush when I spray, is I get my finger on the outside and my pinky on the inside of it, rubbing right on where that nut is for the hose. And it gives me a whole lot more stability. This runs across the back, and now everything's held by that. And this finger is like my gun finger. I'm not using it to do any holding. I just use it to push and pull. See there? So everything is stable before I even start. And that way I can bring down a little bit and pull back. I can give it more or less air, or I can give it more or less fuel. So that works nice. I'm going to take this and pop it just so it'll fit back in the box for right now. I'm going to put everything back in here. I knew they were going to send this. They told me they were sending it to me, and I wanted to get it opened and show everybody what they did and the updates they did to this. This is nice. Now I want to pull this apart just to do it. So let's do that. Let's pull the needle out of here while we're going, just because I want to see that front end and how it comes apart now. I always, before I take this off, always pull your needle out. So you loosen your jam nut and you pull your needle straight back. And that was nice and tight in there. The needle's nice and straight. It looks good. I didn't polish any of the needles on the original one, and it's done me great. So I'm not going to worry too much about polishing that. This I want to dig into so bad. I can't wait. Look at that. That is so much easier. And then it just drops right back in onto that Teflon. And that's your seat. Then the cap goes over to protect it. Just like that. Boom. Now let's put this back in. And I want to do this too to show you. When I do this, I get my finger right off the back past this, so I can lay it in there and I can kind of feed it in and be easy with this. You shouldn't have anything hindering it as you put it in, because it has to go past this valve assembly and all the way up to the front, and you don't want to bang it into there, and you don't want to bang it into the little pieces that are right in here that crimp closed and hold it. So be gentle with your needle. I mean, it's got a long way to go. And it is tight. I can feel it going through that gasket right now. It is tight, tighter than I expected it. But it's there. See the needle come out the top. Nice and tight on here. And we'll give it a nice lock down. And I'll tell you what, before I ever do this again, before I put that needle in, I will put my cover back on. That cover's huge. That's not going to gum up on you. If you know, sometimes when you're trying things out and you're mixing your paint, you get a little too thick, it will build up on here, and then you start to get your spatters and all that stuff. But boy, oh boy, that's pretty sweet. I can't wait till you get this thing going. I'm gonna have to hustle up on this. I'm working on my Dodge Hemi Dart, so we'll get this thing all cleaned up here, and I'll try to get it painted this weekend. But for right now, we got a heck of a nice airbrush here. I thank NEOECO for sending this out and giving me opportunity to try it out. Like I said, I have no complaints about their products whatsoever. They've done me very well, and just dealing with NEOECO as a company, they're very, very kind to me, and they answer all my questions. Whenever I have a question, they answer it, and they're very patient, because when I got this one, they had to wait almost a month before I could do a video on it, because the company I bought my Mr. Color from decided they were just going to use my money to put in the bank and make money off it, and I never did get the stuff. Amazon took care of me, but that company just basically ripped me off for a month's worth of shop work. But I'm going to put all this back in the case here, just like I got it out. Still don't know what that's for. I'm sure it's for taking stuff apart in here. We'll find that out when we do the tear apart here. Maybe Friday night I'll do a nice tear apart so we can all see what's in here. This case is sweet. It does come with a parts list, just like their other one did. Tells you what everything is. If you ever need anything from these guys, I'm sure you can get a hold of them. Just give them the part number that you have. Like I said, this is the NTC-SJ83. You tell them you got that. You tell them what you need or what you're having problems with, and they'll get you back online. I can guarantee you that. They're fantastic people to deal with. So let's put all this back in the case, and while I'm doing that, I will let you go. Again, I am Mark, and this is Grandpa Mark's Hobbies, and you all have a great day. Thanks for watching.